It's been a hot minute since I've browsed actual designer websites for new releases, but I figured, heck, I might as well see what is worth looking at in person this summer, especially since I will be in Europe. And as we can all agree, one simply does not traipse around Europe without popping into a luxury boutique or two or three. And so while I was on Prada's website doing some pre-scouting, I definitely did a double take when I saw some of their newer handbag releases, and not necessarily in a good way. It was more like sort of a deja vu, like I've seen you before, I know you, but not from Prada. Now correct me if I'm wrong, I've never taken Prada to be a copycat designer brand, but is it just me or does that seem to be their current go-to strategy? And if it is, I wonder how successful this seemingly cash cow approach has been working out for them. So in today's video, I just want to share with you some of my recent finds from Prada that I think are 100% reminiscent of bags from other designer houses, some wildly trending at the moment and some whose moment has since long come and gone. We'll play a quick game of would I rather this or that. I don't know what to call it, but you catch my drift. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe what I'm attributing as the original is in fact a ripoff of yet another brand, or there may be multiple brands that have something similar. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But before we do that, I also want to share with you objectively what I have concluded is the best designer bag I own, and hint, it is surprisingly a Prada bag. And also stay tuned to the end where I will talk about one new release from Prada that made me do a double take, but this time definitely in a good butterflies in my tummy, can't take my eyes off of it type of way. I think that bag alone is worth a visit to a Prada store. So stay tuned to find out all the above and more. Welcome back to A Briefcase of Luxury, a place where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. And while I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a business professor, your support does mean the world to me, and I would love to grow this channel so we can all continue on our journey towards more mindful consumption. That is something that I struggle with, especially when it comes to designer shopping. So thank you so much to those of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, or shared my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you'd consider doing so, especially if, like me, you have a teensy obsession when it comes to a good handbag. So I guess I've been going through some sort of handbag crisis or bag burnout where I definitely still have the itch to buy a new bag, but nothing has moved me to the point where I can resolutely decide on which bag to bring home, because there always seems to be a con to the bag. And it got me asking questions like, why is my current collection not enough? What am I even looking for? And it's funny because I had no idea that this bag that I already own and that I'm about to show you would be such a giant measuring stick that I compare all my potential future handbag purchase to. And yes, it was quite a shock to me when I realized that this Prada bag may actually be my overall best designer bag. And I am referring to none other than my Prada Duet Re-Nylon Bucket bag. New from store in 2024, this retails for about $1,800, and I bought mine, goodness, maybe 2 summers ago now, for I want to say about $1,600. So either way, this bag either did not suffer from any major price increases or the price has since dropped like many of their other bags. Now obviously you can find this bag for quite a steal, pre-loved, even in excellent condition. Now I already have 2 other videos on this bag which I will link down below. One is more of your traditional review on what fits, etc., and the other being how this bag surprisingly meets all 5 of my major bag buying criteria. And even now, after owning this bag for 2 years and having since bought other bags, I still don't have another true designer bag that comes close to meeting all of those criteria. Like, that to me is just crazy. Now, I don't want to rehash my old videos, but I still have not found a bag to beat this in terms of its ease of use, its versatility, its capacity, its durability, etc. Like, the main things that still jump out to me about this bag is how spacious it is for its size, how easy it is to carry as both just a top handle bag or a shoulder crossbody bag because of the adjustable detachable shoulder strap. how carefree the nylon material is while still looking elegant and classy, and how fuss-free but secure the drawstring closure is, because there's no flap or zipper to fuss around with. Like, this bag is so insanely easy and comfortable to use while still looking chic. Like, I'm just still in awe of it. And so if you are wanting a very utilitarian designer bag, you cannot go wrong with this. But is this my favorite bag in my collection? I'll be honest, I don't think it is. So apparently my best and my favorite criteria are not quite in sync, but that's a discussion for another day. I guess I just wanted to share with you this recent epiphany, and if you are looking for a very utilitarian yet very iconic quintessential designer bag and you don't want to spend an obscene amount of money, maybe it's worth checking out the Prada bucket bag, both new or pre-loved, and let me know what you think its pros and cons are. Now we're just gonna start off strong with this bag. I feel like I'm about to do an episode of Dora the Explorer Designer Handbag Edition, because all together now, what bag does this remind us of? That's right. We cannot make this list without talking about Prada's version of Thoreau's Margot bag. Now, side rant, Prada really needs to hire a handbag namer, because medium leather tote bag just ain't cutting it. Case in point, the bag I'm interested in is called the medium leather handbag. Like, how insightful, right? Good luck figuring out which one that is. I can just imagine how my visit to Prada is gonna go. Good sir or ma'am, I'm looking specifically for the medium leather handbag. Do you have it, and can I see it? Now online, I am seeing two sizes for this leather tote bag, a medium for $4,200 and a large for $1,000 more. And I'm currently only seeing one finish in 3 colors, your basic black, brown, and white. The Row definitely has more than 2 sizes. They have more colors, more leather options, but I'd say the prices are pretty comparable. So for instance, the $4,200 Prada medium tote measures 32 centimeters, so about 12.5 inches, which is right between the Margot 10 and 15, which retails for about $3,500 to $5,200. But the Margot does also come in a size 12, which would be the closest comparison, for between $4,000 to $4,900. Again, with the price varying based on the leather finish. Oh, and whether you want a shoulder strap, which on that note, the Prada tote does not come with a shoulder strap as far as I can tell. I mean, how is this not a complete ripoff of the Margot? Like, how have they not been sued? That being said, I personally don't quite mind the Prada version, but I would have to go with the Margot only because of the strap situation. And even then, I would probably go for the Margot 10 instead, which, as I'm filming, is available on the Rose website. But let's be honest, I would much rather skip on the Margot altogether. There are plenty of videos and opinions out there about the Margot that I don't think I need to comment on it any further, but let's just say I'm not a cool girl. I don't need a cool girl bag, but if I were forced to buy one or the other, then fine. I can live with being a cool girl. Now let's go from a currently trending bag to what I can only assume is one that hasn't been trending for a very long time. Now, to be fair, this bag actually does have a name, so good for you, Prada. It is called the Supernova handbag, and this is in the small, and it retails for $4,100. Is this not the Givenchy Antigona? Which, oh my goodness, I don't even remember when was the last time I was on Givenchy's website, but they have this toy Antigona in a washed denim for $1,600. And I thought it was simply adorable. They also have this mini version with metal handles for $2,900, which I thought was stunning. But for comparison's sake, let's just go with a similar brushed leather version in the mini, which would be the closest in size, but definitely not close in price. I mean, we are talking about less than half the price for the Antigona new from store at only $19.50. Like, objectively, there's nothing about the Prada version that makes me want to pay double the price. Like, you still have the same type of shoulder strap, the top zipper has the same chunky, edgy vibe, so unfortunately, I would have to go with the Antigona over the Supernova. So Prada is currently 0 for 2. Now let's jump back to a somewhat trending bag, but not necessarily the most trending brand, which is YSL. Now, Prada has what they, again, have so intuitively named the large leather shoulder bag with top stitching, which retails for $4,000, which Hello, I think I know your brother from another mother, also known as the YSL Large Lasanka set, which only retails for $3,100. I say only, but relative to the Prada version, I mean, it's bizarre that the original costs less than the dupe, but that seems to be the case overall, doesn't it? Now, to be honest though, I actually do quite like the look of the Prada version because it feels like an enlarged, sloppier version of their Clio bag, so it doesn't feel like a complete ripoff of the YSL Hobo bag. And I actually find the logo on the Prada version to be less obnoxious than the YSL. However, I can see how from a functionality standpoint, the closure on the YSL may be better than the magnetic closure on the Prada because that looks like it will just easily pop open once you start putting stuff inside your bag. So yeah, we're gonna be 0 for 3. I'd ultimately go with the YSL again for very much the same reasons as why I would pick the Row. I like that YSL has more sizes and colors and materials to choose from. And for this casual style of bag, black and gold seems to be a little much, which was one of the reasons why I sold my old YSL North-South mini shopper tote, which is quite reminiscent of this. The final two are what I consider to be Prada's edition of Hermes knockoffs. So first, let's take a look at the leather Hobo bag for $3,200. Now, props to Prada for releasing this in a total of 5 different colors. Hey, in their defense, that's the most options we've seen on the list thus far. But look at this. It's like they took the Hermes Evelyn and added the gaudiness of the Louis Vuitton guitar straps. Like, this to me is a solid pass. I think I would rather try my luck with an actual Evelyn from the Hermes boutique instead. Kind of like this one right here. So there's just something about the Prada version that doesn't work for me. I mean, Prada makes some beautiful casual bags and this just missed the mark for me completely. So we are 0 for 4. Now, last but not least, I saved this for last because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. This is called the leather handbag. I cannot with these names, man. Now, the leather handbag comes in 3 colors at the moment for $3,000. So I think this is about the least expensive on the list today. And feel free to fight me on this. Aside from the lack of effort put into naming the bag, I think Prada actually got this dupe right. I prefer this to the Hermes Lindy, and let me just explain why. There's just something about this that feels less fussy than the Lindy. I think a major part of that has to do with the double zip. This just looks so much cleaner aesthetically than the Lindy situation with the flap and the sangles. And I bet functionally, this is easier to use as well. You also got some side extra pocket action going on, so bonus points there. And the way the zip is a little concaved still gives a slight slouch in the middle without looking too sloppy, or like the bag has been folded in half. Now, unfortunately, you still have the funky shoulder attachment, but I know that's what it is. That's one of the defining features of the Lindy, right? I mean, I'm still not a fan. I still think it looks like an aftermarket part that's been jimmy rigged, like how I'm not a fan of the aftermarket shoulder straps for the Picatinny. But overall, I would pick this over the Lindy, hands down, any day. So yay for Prada for getting on the board with 1 point. So let me know what you think. How are we feeling about these Prada knockoffs that are often just as expensive, if not more, than the originals? Like, I truly am curious. Is this a strategy that is paying off for them? Are people buying these? And if they are, it's definitely not because they're a better deal. So is it because they are possibly easier to get than, let's say, bags from the Row or from Hermes? And if so, do these scratch that itch? Again, if you own any of these bags, please let me know down in the comments below. Now, before I close out, I don't mean to be dogging on Prada. Clearly, they make some amazing and iconic bags, including what I just realized is my best, or most functional, I should say, designer bag that I currently own. So while none of the new bags I've talked about are ones I'll be rushing to the store to buy, not even the leather handbag, which if I didn't pop up a picture, can you recall which is the leather handbag I am referring to? Exactly. But I will say there was one bag that made me gasp a little when I saw it on the website, and it is the medium leather handbag. I'll wait while you try to find it on their website because there are literally at least 10 other bags with the same name. But this here is the medium leather handbag I am referring to. Let me know if this reminds you of anything else, because nothing comes to mind for me. Like this is what Prada used to be about and should be about, right? It's like a sexy black leather boat. I'm just so mesmerized by its unique shape and just overall sleekness of it, especially when just carried top handle style. So this is definitely something that I want to see in store and play around with this summer. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end, and if you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.